Hello and welcome back again, Power BI enthusiasts, the Power App tutorial channel. We are going to be completing the back end and the front end for our report. So hope you guys are excited. All right, but if you're new here, just make sure you hit that subscription button and that notification bell so you can stay updated when we come up with new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button. All right, let's just jump right into it. So before we start pulling in our data from the Dataverse, I want to go ahead and clean up this page a little, maybe add some few modifications, and then we'll pull in the data. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and rename this guy. So this is going to be our home page. All right, so once I'm done renaming that, let's go ahead and add some canvas background. So let's expand this a little. And then click on the canvas background drop down. We're going to be looking for an image first. This is the image that I'm going to be selecting. Click open to bring it in. It's not going to show at first, so you just have to adjust this. 5% is perfect. All right. And at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate our home page because this is what I want at first across the board. So click on home and then click duplicate. I'm going to do this 4 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and rename this new. I'll be back. All right. So I'm back and I renamed the second one filters. And then the third one is going to be the parking review. The fourth one is going to be test measures. And the fifth one is going to be cards. Just go ahead and hide the last two ones. So just right click and click on hide. And then let's jump back to our home page. At this point, I suggest you go ahead and click on the save button and name your report. I name mine parking inspections report. You can name it whatever you want. And then you can go ahead and change the location if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. All right, so with that save, let's go ahead and start doing some modifications to our home screen. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and include a button here. And the easiest way to do that is to switch to our Insert tab and then just go ahead and choose a button. There are different types of button. The one we want is going to be the blank button. Go ahead and drag it to the right, and I'm just going to expand it manually. That's good enough. And then let's do some editing to our button. We'll go ahead and open the shape. That looks fine. Let's go into styles. Turn on the text value and then type inside the text what the button is supposed to be saying. So it's supposed to be saying filters. Let's go ahead and increase the font size. I'm just going to make this 40. And then go ahead and close the drop down for the text. And then let's open the field drop down. You can turn that on. All right, so you pick the background color to be white, and you can go ahead and modify it as best you can. I'm just going to tweak this to be 24 so we can have like a pop out. And then For the border, let's make it dark. Increase the transparency a little bit. So that's for the field, and that's for the border. Go ahead and open the action too. Go ahead and tweak it on. So it's saying type. Go ahead and switch that to page navigation. That's the one we're looking for because we want to navigate to a different page when you click on the button. For destination, since we already created the pages over here, we can just go ahead and select that page here. So what we're looking for is filters. And with that, we have our button fixed up. You can go ahead and hit save. And then what I'm gonna do is make my job easier by, copying and duplicating this button we just created. So just Control C and Control V, drag and drop to the bottom. And then we're gonna rename this one. We can start with, okay, where are we? We are on shape. So go into styles first, go into text. For this one, we are looking for parking review as our name. All right, so that's going to be the name of this button. We leave the rest like that. For the field still looks the same. I don't think we need to change anything. Let's just go directly to our action button. So a page navigation is not supposed to be filters for this one. This is supposed to be parking review. And we are done with our two buttons here. Let's go ahead and do some more modifications to our home page. I want to put an icon right here, and I want to put a header up top too. But like I said, go ahead and save to. And to quickly do that, just go ahead and select images, and you can just pick the logo you created. And I'm just going to drag that to the top here and manually adjust it. Okay, that looks good so far. Can adjust it some more if you want to. These are just aesthetics at this point. And then let's go ahead and add a text box up top. So all I did was click on this text to include it in, and then go ahead and type in home, and send it to 40. Let's try that again. Select all and extend to 40. Center it. And I think we should be fine for this. You can go ahead and do some more modifications, but I'm not going to stress myself with modifying the UI so much. This is what I need my homepage to semi look like. And from this point on, I think it's time for us to start importing our data. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And the first thing I'm going to do is go back to our home. And under home, let's go ahead and click Dataverse. And as you can see, it's making a connection to the Dataverse. Awesome. And then we're going to go ahead and pull in from our environment. The one I'm looking for is going to be this one right here. And you can go ahead and search for your table. The easiest way to do this is to use your EATC. So whatever publisher you have, that's the easiest way to do this. And we need two tables, but we're going to start with the vehicle table because that's the easiest to pull in first. So for me, is the vehicle info. So once I selected that, just go ahead and click transform data. If it says import and direct query, we are going to be choosing the import option. All right, so once it opens up, just go ahead and do some more cleanup. And the first thing I'm going to clean up is going to be the name. I'm just going to let it say vehicle info for the name. All right, so once that's done spinning, go ahead and select choose columns next. And under choose columns, click on select all columns to deselect it. And then we're going to pick the ones we want. So the first one I want is going to be this guy here. And then I want you to scroll all the way down. And then we're going to be picking the vehicle name, vehicle model, and the vehicle make. So those are the 4 columns I want. Once you're done with that, just click OK to pull that in. And at this point, you can go ahead and click close and apply. And let Power BI pull the vehicle info and the data in. Okay, so that's one down. That's our vehicle info in here. Let's go ahead and import the next table. So click on the Dataverse again. Make sure you select the environment you're looking for. And then just like before, use your publisher to filter. And then the one we want is the parking inspection. That's what we're getting this time around. Go ahead and click transform data and also click import. All right, and the first thing I'm gonna do just like before is rename this guy parking inspection info. And let it spin. Once it's done spinning, we'll go ahead and do the choose columns again. Okay, so it's done spinning. Let's go ahead and do our choose column. Choose columns. And just like before, we select all of them. And then we're going to be selecting the one we want. The first one is going to be the PATC inspection info ID. Once you grab that, scroll all the way down. And we're going to be picking the name, inspection dates, request info name, vehicle info, and vehicle name. These are the columns I think we need. We can grab some more, but I believe this is enough to do what we need to do. Go ahead and click OK. And once that's done, click close and apply. Let Power BI pull the data in for us. Awesome. So we have our 2 tables in now. Let's visualize our data. And the best way to do that is go to the model view. So we have our vehicle info on the left and then our parking inspection on the right. Let's start adding relationships to our model. Go ahead and click on Manage Relationships. You can try our luck and see if we can auto-detect a relationship. No such luck. So we're going to create one. Just click on New Relationship. And our relationship is going to be stemming from the parking inspection info. So let's go ahead and select that. And then the next table is going to be our vehicle info. And luckily for us, it actually picked, nope, fortunately it picked the wrong one. It picked the vehicle info. That's not the one we want. We want this one right here. Let me expand it so you can see what it says. If it's gonna let me expand. Okay, so it's supposed to be saying PATC vehicle info. That's the one we want. We want the unique ID. And then that should also correspond to the vehicle info for the vehicle table. All right, so once it looks like this, go ahead and hit save. Yep, it's supposed to say many to one, and you should leave this on. So go ahead and hit save. That's for the first relationship. We need to create another relationship, but that's going to be a relationship to our DAX theme date table, which we're going to create next. To do that, let's just go ahead and click on new table. And then I'm gonna copy and paste the code for the dim dates. So this is gonna be the formula we're gonna be using for dim dates. It's pretty straightforward. It's gonna get the month ID, month, day number in a cool format for us. Once you've put that in, go ahead and click on the check mark to create the table. And you should see your dim dates here once it's created. All right, I want to do some editing to this dim date before we continue. The first thing I'm going to do is let's go straight to the table view and select the month for the dim date. Once you've selected the month, go ahead and click sort by columns and pick the month ID. So we're going to be sorting that dim date by month ID. Once you're done with that, switch back to the dim date. Go ahead, click on the three dots, and then make sure you tag mark as dates table. Turn this on. Go ahead and pick this, and then hit save. So what that does is it officially makes this our date table for the entire application. So we have one synchronous date table for the entire application. All right, before we make the relationship between our date table and parking inspection, I want to go ahead and expand our parking inspection a little bit. So first things first is I'm going to be adding some calculated columns to the parking inspection, and it's going to help us in our connection with our date table, as well as fixing up the front end when we get to it. And the first thing I'm going to do is, so just make sure you have parking inspection info selected, and then go ahead and click on new column. And then under the new column section, we're going to be pasting a code. This is going to be the first one, and it's just going to be inspection dates. And this is just formatting it using the parking inspection info inspection dates in a cool format for our dates dim date table. So once that's done, just go ahead and click the check mark to commit. You can close that down, and you can see it's right here. We're also going to create another one, so make sure you have the parking info selected. Go ahead and click on new column again. And for this new column, we're going to be putting this code in. All right, so this is going to be the second column that we're going to be creating, and it's going to be is requested, and it's just going to check if the parking inspection info parking request is blank. If it's blank or not, it's going to give us a true or false. That's the second one. Just go ahead and hit the check mark to commit it. And since we're here, let's go ahead and do the URL request too. So make sure you have the parking info selected. Let's click on new column 2. And I'm going to go ahead and paste the code and then we'll walk through it. Okay, so this is going to be the URL request code. So we're going to be grabbing the HTTP from the model-driven app, and then we're going to use this ampersand parking inspection info. If you're trying to figure out how to get to this link, you need to go to your solution. So you go here. So I'm in my model-driven app. So this is the model-driven app solution. And just go to the parking inspection and just pick any inspection you want. This is the HTTP you're looking for. So you want it to go all the way to the end where it says ID equal to. This is what you're grabbing. So you need to grab this, copy it, and then go ahead and paste it right here. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and click the check mark to commit it. And with that, we are done with fixing up our parking inspection. We have everything we need to make our connection to our dim date. And also for the front end too. So let's just go ahead and make the relationship now. Click on Manage Relationships. We're going to click on New Relationship. Go ahead and select the parking inspection for the first one. Go ahead select the dim date for the second one. And then for the parking inspection, so there are two of them. One of them says inspection date, and the other one says inspection date time. We're going to pick an inspection date, the one we created for this special scenario. Also pick the date on the dim date table, and then go ahead and click Save. You can go ahead and click Close. All right, so now we've created our relationship between our dim dates and our parking. Let's go ahead and do some measures. The recommendation is to create a dedicated table for your measures and then add all the measures to that table. So we're going to do that. Just click on New Table and then name your table My Measures. Go ahead and click the check mark to create your table. And then with our My Measures selected, we start creating our measures. The first measure is, so with measures, My Measures selected, click on Measures. And then put in this first measure. The first one is going to be the total inspections measure. And this is going to be the code for it. It's very simple and straightforward. Just total inspection will count the rows of all the inspections coming in from our parking inspection info table. Go ahead and click the check mark to commit that. The next measure, so with the My Measures table selected again, click on New Measure. And this new measure is going to be the total request measure. And it's a simple formula. It's going to count the rows of the parking inspection info and then count the rows of parking inspection is required equals to true. So remember, we created a new is required. That's what we're using in this measure. And then once you're done with all that, just go ahead and click the check mark to add that in. Final measure. So select your My Measures, click on New Measure. And for this new measure, put in this code. And this new measure is going to be called percentage inspections with valid parking requests. And it's just basically dividing our total requests by total inspections. Go ahead and click the check mark. At this point, I would suggest you go ahead and hit save. And I believe we are done with the back end. So we're done with our model. We're ready to move to the front end now. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video here because I don't want it to be extra long. But from this point on, we are just gonna be working on the filters page and parking review page, and we should be done with our report. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you and goodbye.